Well, today's walk is a little bit different, somewhere that you wouldn't normally come as a tourist. My car's due for a service just before its MOT, so brought it into the garage and they're going to service it. So they've told me to come back in an hour or so's time. Gives us an opportunity to have a look around this area. So let's get on with it and see what's in this particular poligono. When we first came to Mallorca, cars didn't actually need an MOT. Here it's called an ITV, the technical inspection for vehicles. So there were all sorts of cars on the road, but they did introduce the MOT, the ITV, and it's become part of our lives now. So after your car is 4 years old, if you buy a new car, if it's 4 years old, you start to get the ITV inspection. And for up until 10 years it's every 2 years, and then every year after that. So this is an ITV station, and it's a garage specifically for doing MOTs. They don't do any repairs, they just inspect your vehicle and tell you whether it's passed or failed. And if it's failed, you've got to then take it back to a garage which will do the repairs and then bring it for a new inspection. And normally you don't have to pay for the re-inspection, but that'll depend on how long it's taken you to get the repair done, and maybe some other factors as well. So in a few weeks' time I've got to bring my car for its inspection. It's been a problem over the last year since the pandemic started. They didn't work normal hours, and so there was a backlog of inspections, and I'm not even sure they've caught up yet. So when I start to book mine in, we'll discover whether I can get one immediately or whether I have to wait. So there's several of these centres. This is the main one in Palma. There's another one near to the airport. There's one in Inca, and they've set up a temporary one now in the Calvia area near to Magaluf. So I'll just have a look to see which one's got the free spots, the free appointments, and then bring my car in to be done, hopefully in the next month or two. So let's have a look around the industrial estate, which here is called a poligono, and we're going to have a look in the poligono of Son Castello. So I've dropped my car off here, the main Renault garage, but we're going to walk over a big bridge up here, which will take us into the main industrial estate. Not somewhere the average tourist would go to. But there are some interesting things to see as we go around. So we're just on the top of the bridge now. We've walked up, and the bridge takes us over this railway line, which is the railway line that takes the train to Soller. So if you're on that is a tourist train really. It's quite expensive, I think. But it's a really interesting journey that takes you along this line and then up and into the mountains and then round to Soller. So that's something we haven't done for a while. It's not actually running at the moment because of the pandemic, but it's due to open, well, in the springtime, so we'll be a little bit vague about when it's actually going to open. But if you want to see the video of Soller, you'll find it in our YouTube channel. We've got two there. There's the Soller village and the Puerto de Soller. So have a look at those, and we'll carry on down here going into the industrial estate, the poligono. Now this is the industrial estate. It's where all the warehouses and workshops are for all sorts of businesses. But the general public don't normally come here. It's sort of business to business, but there are one or two places, showrooms, particularly for things like bathrooms and kitchens are here, and also car showrooms. So the poligono has all of these main streets wide, but off the poligono you'll find these alleyways, and up these alleyways on both sides there will be workshops and warehouses where people go conduct their businesses. We'll carry on down a little bit further. This isn't the main road, by the way. This is one of the secondary roads, if you like. where you can come and rent your machinery. Find just about everything in this poligono, and the trick is finding out how to find it. It's not an easy place to navigate. It's very big, so you wouldn't normally walk around here, and for me it was never very driver friendly. Many of the roads, this one included, are one way, so you're only allowed to drive down, and you end up discovering that the thing you want is somewhere behind you or at a turning that you can't make, and so navigation becomes really quite complicated with all of the one-way systems. So this is actually the fire station, the main fire station for Palma. It's not the only one, but one of the main ones. They've got an interesting solar panel there, sort of a flower that gets splayed out, collecting net solar energy. And for the firemen, they've got a swimming pool as well. I didn't realise that. This is not a place you would normally walk around, so just walking around the poligono, you're actually seeing lots of things that you wouldn't see as you're driving around. So it just shows how out of date I am. This is the Antiguo Parque de Bomberos. So the Bomberos are the fire station, and this is the old park. So the Bomberos are the firemen, and this is where they used to be, and good job it's not being used anymore because it's got lots of cars parked in. So maybe the main one is by Son Castello, so if you want to see the fire station, there is one near to Son Castello. So Anita's just reminding me that there is another fire station. The main one is actually near to IKEA and the Estadio Balear, which again is on the motorway going towards the airport for us. So yeah, I'm a little bit out of date on this one. So in this poligono there is a sports complex, and this is where we used to bring the children from school. So they used to be bussed here every week for their sporting activities, and we used to have inter-school competitions here. So we bring all of the international schools and have our competitions here. It's another one of the places that you don't see if you're walking by, but here's a place, a scrapyard, where you can get your reclaimed things. Interesting. A few weeks ago we drove up to Oyense. It was not such a good journey because the heavens opened, and on the way back we had a puncture. So I managed to change the tyre, but when we got back down to Palma, this is the place I went to, Euromaster, and the most efficient place I've ever been to, I think, here in Mallorca. They dealt with us really quickly, repaired the tyre, and I think it was about 25 euros, and we were on our way. So at the moment the restrictions say that bars can only open for takeaways, so lots of the bars are providing coffees or small takeaway type meals. And tomorrow, Friday, is the review, so they're hoping to reduce some of the restrictions, and from next Tuesday, 2nd of March, we're hoping that some of the bars and restaurants will be able to open. The thing they're arguing about now is how long they're going to be able to open for. At the moment they're closed completely, inside and out, and the present suggestion is that they can open the terraces, but only till 4 p.m, and obviously the bars are not very happy with that, and would like to extend beyond 4 p.m. So we'll see what comes out of the talks tomorrow, see what announcements they make, but these should be taking place. Any announcements should be put into force next Tuesday. Next Monday is a holiday, it's the Baleares Day, and so businesses would be closed anyway. Many of the hotel chains and businesses associated with tourism have got their offices here. This is the one for Meliá, one of the biggest hotel chains here in Mallorca, well, throughout the world. We've got the Mercedes dealership, the Honda dealership, and the Volvo dealership just across the road. And this is actually the main road. This is actually a two-way road, so it's like a dual carriageway that runs through the centre. So we're just walking up this main road now. We've got some more car dealerships. There's the Opel, and have Vauxhall over here, and Kia, which is the car that's sold the most so far this year. More Kias have been sold than any other car. We're only in February, the end of February, but January, when you look at the car sales, Kia sold more than any other company. So here we are with another view of the sports stadium. We've actually walked all the way around it now. Quite a nice sports stadium, and the public are allowed to come here as well, and people do come from the poligono during their lunchtime, have a run around the track, and there are other sports facilities here also. We're getting near to the top of the Gran Via now. We've only had an opportunity to walk around a small fraction of this poligono. It is a huge area, and probably we've walked around a fifth of it, a quarter of it, or less. And Anita's complaining that she's not seen any kitchen shops. That's on the other side, I think. One thing that's interesting is that from Palma you can actually get the underground, the subway, and this is actually one of the stops here in the poligono, where you can go down here and you can actually get on the subway. So it's a very limited line. It starts in the Plaza de España in Palma and comes up through the poligono. This is actually the route that it takes. So over here is Plaza de España. That's the main terminal, and the other end is the university. We're here. So this particular part of the poligono that we've been looking at is concentrating on cars. So on this side we've got Subaru, second-hand car dealership, and on the far side there, Toyota. So all the big names are represented, and they tend to be in this little bit of the poligono. Palma is very keen on recycling, and on the far side of the road there, that's our recycling station. It's where you can put the rubbish in the back of your car, an old washing machine, refrigerator, and you take it there. When you get there, you have to prove that you live in the municipality though. So we have to prove that we live in Palma, otherwise they won't accept our rubbish. Because local taxes for rubbish collection are where you actually live. So we couldn't go to Calvia, for example, and deposit our rubbish there. Oh, I found a bathroom place. Anita doesn't seem to be too interested there. Something that's only appeared in recent years are cheap petrol stations where they're self-service. Not sure how cheap that one seems to be actually. 125. That's diesel for a litre. As you would expect, being in Mallorca, there are lots of these businesses here that are associated with boats and yachts. So here's one, Nova Nautica, Mallorca. different vessels that they sell. So the last junction, Anita thought we were there, but we still have a bit of a way to go. We've got to go back over this bridge and then back down to the Renault dealership where our car is having its latest service. I hope I've shown you a different side to Mallorca, a side that shows that Mallorca is not all about tourism, that we do have an industrial and other aspects to the businesses here. But tourism is still the thing which the island hinges on, and those businesses that we've seen today, whether they're car dealers or backroom suppliers, they are all going to be relying on the tourists to provide the money to the island so that the people can actually buy cars or buy bathrooms or have their cars serviced. So an interesting, different walk. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please do share it with your friends, let them have a look, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye.
So we've just been to pick the car up, but they've told us they need a little bit more time, so they told us to go for another walk. So we're just walking. This is a different part, different poligono, which is next to Son Castello. And one of the things they have here is a gas station. Not an American type gas station, but a gas station where they actually sell gas. So we come here sometimes to buy bottled gas. Bottled gas is still very, very popular here in Mallorca, and many homes use it for cooking and for heating. It's very cheap. So we spend on one of those big 15-kilo bottles only about 15 euros, something like that. 13 euros, Anita corrects me. But this gas station is a gas station. You can come and fill your car up with gas instead of petrol, and it is much, much cheaper. So where diesel, it says, this costs 114.9, well, we haven't seen it that low. The gas is actually only 65 cents for a litre equivalent. So it is actually much cheaper. So many of the taxi drivers will come and fill up with gas here. I guess there are some more gas stations on the island. This is the only one I actually know of. It's interesting, but you can't park in certain places. Underground car parks will not allow you to park if you have a gas vehicle. So just down here as well, we have the testing station. If you're doing the theory test for your driving license, that's down here. So our children who've been down here to do their driving license, when they did their Spanish driving license, they had to come here to do a theory test. And that's curious, because anyone who decides to come and live in Mallorca now can't renew or exchange their driving license. All newcomers from the UK will now have to do a driving test. You can't automatically change your license over. So we were quite lucky because we've been living here, we're residents here, and so it was a fairly simple process to change over your driving license to a Spanish driving license. But from now on, anyone who comes to live here or spend more than 90 days here, if they want to drive a car, will have to have a Spanish driving license. And the only way I can see at the moment you can do that is to take a driving test. So while we've just done our second little walk around, a little postscript to our original video, we've managed to find somewhere for a coffee. So cheers, and hopefully this will be the end of this video, assuming we get our car back, and then we'll see you in the next video. So bye for now.
Bye.